Hey guys, Steve Welch here with Beeman Toyota. So I wanted to talk to you guys about something that happened a couple weeks ago, and I was at the launch for the Camry. So this is actually I was actually with some reps from Toyota, and they actually heard this phone call. And what it was is a lady called me from Georgia and said that she bought a Tundra from a dealership there and from a salesman there, and that nobody could give her a straight answer to her question. And her question was not hard, but the question was about the trailer she was pulling. And what she had said was that the particular salesperson, she had asked him, can I pull a gooseneck with this Tundra? And he said, yeah, no problem. Well, Toyota never, and this is something, like I said, when I was talking to these people, Toyota's right, the reps are right beside me, and they're like, no, Toyota never recommends goosenecks in any of their vehicles. So they never recommend that you put any kind of a gooseneck. Now, obviously, you probably could, with the long bed or that and that, but Toyota doesn't recommend doing goosenecks. And there's actually a better reason why. But she's like, oh, the salesman told me I could. And I was like, how big is this trailer? This trailer's big, right? So she's got a trailer that's 20,000 pounds plus that she's gonna put on the bed, in the bed of as a gooseneck in the bed of a Tundra. So keep in mind that when you're hauling a gooseneck, and this is, like I said, Toyota never recommends it, but when you're hauling a gooseneck, you actually have to take into account the truck's payload. So there's two things that come into towing, really, right? When you're talking about how much is the towing capacity. Actually, there's three things: the towing capacity, the tongue weight, and the payload of the vehicle. So all those three things you need to know if you're going to tow something. And realistically, as salespeople, we should be able to tell you at least a generality of what that truck can do. Like, most Tundras are somewhere around 10,000 pounds as a tow rating. Usually you're 10% to the tongue, right? And that's pretty cut and dry. And then no Tundras are recommended for a gooseneck. Well, and what's a gooseneck? You guys can look it up, but it's the one that attaches in the bed. And there's two different ways that you can do it. Either there's something looks kind of like the way the semi attaches, or sometimes there's a ball in the bed. But just realize that's what a gooseneck is. Well, when you have a gooseneck, it's meant to take some payload and put it on the truck, as opposed to the entire thing being on the wheels of the trailer. So if you have a gooseneck and you take 10% of that, let's just say, and put it into the bed of the truck. So if you have a 20,000 or 30,000 pound trailer, and this thing's probably somewhere between 20 and 30,000 pounds from what it sounds like from what she was saying, if you put that in the bed of the truck, then what's going to happen is exactly what happened to her. It squatted the truck to where the inner fender wells went all the way down to the wheels. And she's like, I just put it, I put the weight on and I'm like, that it's not designed for that. You have on a Tundra, it's less than 2,000 pounds of payload, right? So I mean, they vary. Some are 16, some are 18, but your payload in the bed is less than 2,000 pounds. Let's just call it that as a rule. If you're trying to do anything over 2,000, you've overloaded the bed of the truck. Now, my truck, I'm in my Tundra now. I mean, obviously I can tow 12,000 pounds, right? Or thereabouts, right? But my payload, I think, is like 1,680. It's not meant to be put all there. So even though the engine can pull it, the transmission can pull it, there's reasons that you have a difference for the payload. Now, back to my gripe with this whole thing, and I have no problem with people getting a hold of me and asking me questions, especially when it's something where she said she asked several people and nobody can answer it. And it's like, nobody can answer a basic question that you don't put a gooseneck into a Tundra. And the fact that somebody installed one blows my mind, because that somebody had to look it up. Somebody had to find a way to get it in there. I mean, it's not designed to have a gooseneck in it. It's just not, right? So realistically speaking, my problem is with everybody down the line. Nobody said no. So are we to the point to where that is the biggest thing that, well, maybe I won't sell a vehicle if I don't tell her it'll haul a gooseneck. So yeah, it'll haul a gooseneck. Yeah, I'll tell her that. I mean, come on, guys, we're better than that, especially when you're with Toyota. So why is anybody out there in Georgia? So if you're in Georgia and you told this lady that, I mean, that's bad, because now this lady bought a truck to do a job that the truck's not designed to do. She realistically needed something that's like a 1-ton dually, or at least like a 3/4 ton HD, something that's designed to have that kind of weight behind it. The Tundra's not designed for that. The Tundra's got a huge tow rating. You can put 1,000 pounds on the tongue weight in most cases, right? And you go back, I mean, obviously the current one has a bigger tow rating than some of the old ones do, right? But realistically speaking, and I've talked to a few people about this, and I've had some people say, well, it's up to the person that's towing to know what their truck can handle. True, but who do you ask? I've towed before, and I've put equipment on the back of my truck, and you guys have seen, I've done videos with that, right? And even like I mentioned my Lowe's experience that I went, and I was going to haul a 10,000 pound piece of equipment with the trailer weight, right? And they initially said, do you have a 3/4 ton truck? And I was like, no. They're like, oh, you can't haul this piece of equipment. And at least they were trying, right? But then I went and I go, yeah, but I got an I-Force Max Tundra. And they're like, oh yeah, you're okay. So the person I was talking to understood the vehicle that I had. But at least Lowe's was like, look, we're not going to make this sale, which was just a rental, right? But we're not going to make this sale at the detriment of our customer. And I will appreciate that, right? I will appreciate that a ton. But when somebody's like, oh yeah, you can put a gooseneck in it. Or they're like, oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, it'll tow 20,000 pounds. No, it won't. You obviously, like I said, the number one thing I think we should do as salespeople is to help our customer to be able to look up the information, because even if you don't remember the exact number and you're going, oh, well, what's my payload? Oh, it's 1680, it's 1720, it's whatever that payload is. How do you look it up? Where can you find it? So it's obviously you have the information that's in your door frame that will tell you that stuff. That's on every vehicle, right? I believe it's mandated that it's on every vehicle, that you have to have the weights of the vehicles and the tow rating. Even your tire pressures are inside your door, so you can see what those are without ever having to crack a book. You don't have to Google it. You don't have to crack a book, right? So realistically speaking, like I said, let's be better as sales guys. And I know it's, I have no control over anybody in Georgia, but when you sell, it's an XP, which is basically an SR5, and you tell somebody no problem, it'll haul a 20 or 30 pound 20 or 30,000 pound gooseneck, and that person goes through and modifies that truck. Because here's the thing too, if I'm going to buy that truck and I look at it and go, man, this thing's got a gooseneck in it, well, now I'm questioning some things, right? So this was not a beneficial thing for this lady. And like I said, I had Toyota, a couple of trainers from Toyota that were standing right beside me as I was talking, going, how did this happen? What dealership was this? Where was this at? And they were asking questions, and I was referring them to her, and I got the answers for them. So if you're the one in Georgia that did it, Toyota knows, right? So at least the people I was talking to, and now they're in my region, so this is a regional thing. So I don't know, but Toyota knows, because I told them. just telling you. So let's not do this, guys. And if you're buying one and you plan on putting a gooseneck in it, like I said, it's not designed for it. I realize it's your truck, right? If you've got a little, hey, I'm hauling it's a gooseneck, but it's only going to have 1,000 pounds in the bed and whatever, and you can justify it all you want to, and so be it. If you're going to modify your truck and you know exactly what you're doing, you know exactly what you're buying, and you know exactly what it can haul, I'm okay with that. Realistically, there are videos out there of goosenecks, driving on Toyotas, right? But I'm just telling you that it's not recommended by Toyota. as a number one thing, it's not recommended by Toyota, and number two, that you're likely going to avoid some warranties. Just saying, right? That's part of it too. But this is an issue, guys. This is a big issue. So, and like I said, I always get irritated with everybody that and I'm not saying I get irritated with the phone call. I get irritated with the fact that people call me and go, "Oh, the salesman told me this," or "The salesman told me my car has remote start and it don't," or "The salesman told me that my car would fly and it won't." Whatever there's a school of thought that tell the customer what you have to tell them to sell them a car, and that never ever ends well. That ends in low review. You get 1-star reviews, you get 1-star surveys from Toyota, you get somebody that is so unhappy that will never come to you again. And you know what? There are a lot of salespeople that are done in 90 days or 6 months, or maybe they make it a year, but they don't care to see somebody again. I've been doing this 8 years, going on 9 years as we talk about this here. And you know what? I've seen the same customers 4, 5, 6 times. I just got off the phone with somebody that's bought 4 cars from me, and they were just having an issue with their car, and I told them how to fix it. This is something that is very, very easy to do, to take care of a customer. And that's one of the reasons I like who I work for, because with Beeman and with our upper management, that's our mindset, is to take care of our customers. So I don't have to worry about a lot of things when it comes to that, right? But I'm going to tell you, don't let these people, if they're working for you, don't let these people get away with that, guys. Don't, I want to give the person a benefit of the doubt and saying they didn't know. They might have thought it was a truck, and yeah, any truck you can do that with. They might have thought that, but it's not recommended by Toyota, so don't do it. But like I said, benefit of the doubt, sure, but man, we got to know better to do better, and it's one of the things that we do at Beeman. So if you guys are looking for somebody who's going to treat you right, just come down and see us. We'll always take care of you. But reach out to me at buyatoyotanashville@yahoo.com. buyatoyotanashville@yahoo.com. If you got your story, part of my Tales of a Car Guy series, if you got your story and you kind of want it to get out, no, I'm not going to be probably too happy to do like a gripe session or whatever, but something like this, something that can turn into an education, something that can help that person if they happen to see this, because a lot of salespeople watch my videos. So if they happen to see this, I want to help them to better help you, because there's nothing worse than somebody that's unhappy with their purchase. That's the worst thing out there, right? So if I can help you guys to be better, I'm going to help you guys to be better. But we'll go from there, right? Steve Welch, Tales of a Car Guy. We'll keep talking to you guys later. You have a great one.